Coming up on the Paper Talk today, we're going to be talking about one of my favourite topics. Kobbie Mainoo reports that he could be offered a new longer-term deal at Manchester United. I know he's just signed a deal at Manchester United, I think taking up to 2027. But according to Fabrizio Romano and a few other newspapers as well, he could be set to sign a new deal, at least be offered a new deal, keep him at the club a bit longer and on better wages. Also, we'll be looking at blue cards, another change in football. Do we really need to keep chopping and changing the rules in football? Blue cards could be coming in, which means sin bins, so it's a bit different from a yellow card. Cynical fouls and dissent could get you a sin bin. More changes in football, honestly, it's giving me a headache. Anyway, let's get into it. Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford and it's pretty mild, to be honest with you, but you might want to bring your parkers out because there's a slight chill in the air. Anyway, we'll get into the stories, quite a few Manchester United stories, as you would expect, obviously, is why we would be here. But before we get into all that, make sure you are hitting like, share and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. We want to get to 750,000 subscribers by the end of the season, and with your support, we will get there. Right, first of all, let's talk about, we're going to get to Kobbie Mainoo in a minute, about this new contract potentially on the table for him. I hope so anyway. But first of all, I want to talk about blue cards. This story came out yesterday. I think I saw it in the Telegraph and elsewhere that they're going to be introducing blue cards into football. I think there was a sort of directive from FIFA and one of the governing bodies that they're going to be looking at bringing in blue cards, and this will involve sin bins. So you're going to have 10 minutes in a sin bin if you're blue carded for dissent or a cynical foul. If you do a cynical foul, so you know you always do them, don't you, when let's say you're defending a corner, or sorry, you're attacking at a corner, the team counters, so you clip the lad's legs as he's running away, the player's legs as he's running away from you. It's cynical. You usually get a yellow, don't you? But it's worth taking a booking if they're going to go and score. You'd rather have a yellow card than concede a goal. Well, now the new directives are saying if you do that, you're going to get blue carded, so you're going to go off the pitch for 10 minutes. Also, 2 blue cards will equals a red card, I think, if I've read that correctly. So this is a new directive, new initiative that's being brought in. Also, dissent can be blue carded. So if you're giving the referee a bit of grief, you could end up going in a sin bin for 10 minutes. I think that's fraught with problems, the dissent one, because we saw it with Diogo Dalot at Anfield, where he got 2 successive yellow cards for dissent. Yet since then, we have seen countless incidents where the same punishment hasn't been dished out. And I think dissent can be how you interpret it. Sometimes players will swear to themselves. Sometimes they'll shout to themselves after something's happened. Are they aiming it at the referee? It could be a tricky one, that, where the referees have to find a level of consistency as to what they think is dissent and what is worth a blue card. Anyway, the FIFA have done a post or a tweet or an X post, whatever you want to call it. There's something on there saying that actually this blue card initiative isn't going to be at the elite level, at the top levels. It's going to be brought out at the lower levels. It's going to be introduced and trialled at the lower levels of football. So you're not going to see it here in the Premier League anytime soon. It's going to be done more at a grassroots level, lower league level. Then we'll see whether it's a success, whether they're going to bring it in at the higher levels, whether they're going to pursue it or keep it. I don't know. I'm always a bit averse to change when it comes to football. I think we changed too many things. I also don't like the idea of bringing in something else that's going to lead to more stop starting. If you're sin binning players, then it's going to slow the game down. You're going to have more stop starting. I think that's the last thing football needs now. You've probably seen my rant, if you want to call it that, about VAR. I'm not a big fan of VAR, to be honest with you, and I think we're going down this road again where it's changing the game. It doesn't need changing, and also making it flow less frequently, making it sort of almost like it's organic, if you will. It's not going to be a sort of game that flows and you don't have to sort of blow your whistle every 5 minutes and there's not all this arguing and stop starting. You can have more of that, I think, anyway, if you bring in the blue cards. By all means, get involved in the comments and let me know what you think. Some change can be good. The pass-back rule was good. That helps increase the sort of the flow of the game. I remember that was brought in when the Premier League started. Some people queried it. I thought the game was better for it. Other rules, remember golden goal, silver goal, remember that was a thing. They didn't work, and we tried them and we got rid of him. What do you think of blue cards? I want to hear from you guys as well. Let's talk about Kobbie Mainoo, because he's just a great topic to talk about. There's not always a lot of positives this season, but Kobbie Mainoo has been a massive positive for Manchester United. Now, Fabrizio Romano has tweeted, and I think the Daily Mirror picked up on it as well, that Manchester United are about to look at giving Kobbie Mainoo a new deal. Now, he only signed a deal, I think, in 2023 that takes him up to 2027, but it looks like Manchester United could be about to prepare, are prepared to offer him a new long-term contract, probably on better terms as well. I think he would have signed that deal when, obviously, he's a kid, he's up and coming, he's not in the first team, probably on wages that are a lot lower than other first team members as you'd expect from a teenager. Now, however, he is a first team player. I think he's a vital cog in the first team machine, if you will. If we can get him tied to an even longer deal, I'm all about it. I don't want to get too carried away with Kobbie Mainoo, but I think it's safe to say he's one of the greatest players in the history of association football, and we should keep him here for the rest of his life. However, we'll see what happens with Manchester United and the contract. Hopefully we can get him tied down. Hopefully he can get a wage that he's happy with and doesn't make him look elsewhere. You saw his reaction after the Wolves game where he got that winner. He said it was great to score for his boiled club. Let's keep him at his boiled club for as long as we possibly can. We'll keep you updated on any developments on that. But that's a tweet from Fabrizio Romano. And he usually gets his stuff right, doesn't he? He's quite reliable, Romano. Also, it's been picked up by papers as well. So, as and when we get any developments on a new deal for Kobbie Mainoo, we'll see it. Also, Kobbie Mainoo was in the sort of public eye earlier this week. I think it was on Wednesday when he sent a video message. I think it was to Daniel Colleen, who lost his father Vincent recently, a big Manchester United fan. Kobbie Mainoo sent him a video message. Great to see. He didn't have to do that, and the way he did it as well, the way he carried himself, he just seems like he's got that maturity on the pitch and off the pitch as well. Just seems like an all-round good guy. Fantastic footballer. Let's try and keep him at the club, and fair play to him for doing that and reaching out to United fan who is going through it, and my thoughts are with Daniel and the rest of the family. On the game coming up as well this weekend, we've got Aston Villa away, haven't we? It's a tricky one. I know Villa haven't been in the greatest of form, but it's a tricky one. Me and Joe previewed that game. You can go and check that out. But I think Erik ten Hag was talking about Lisandro Martinez, the injury to Lisandro Martinez, and options he's got there. Now, he mentioned the centre-back options he's got. He also mentioned the fact that he can play Luke Shaw there. I was mentioning this on the preview, that maybe Luke Shaw could be ended up at centre-back, and if he sort of shuffles his pack a little bit. One fly in the ointment of that idea. Sometimes Diogo Dalot will go over to the left and Aaron Wan-Bissaka will play on the right. Aaron Wan-Bissaka apparently put out training yesterday. Erik ten Hag was quick to say he doesn't know the nature of that, so we'll have to wait and see. Doesn't look like Aaron Wan-Bissaka is fully fit yet, though. We might be, but it's a doubt. So we'll see what's happening with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We'll see what's happening with the centre-back position. Obviously, Lisandro Martinez is not available. He's out for around 8 weeks, I think it is. So Erik ten Hag's got another problem to solve. He's got a few of them going into the Villa game and beyond, of course. He also spoke about the youngsters yesterday, Erik ten Hag. He spoke about the club being ambitious and the youngsters, they need to have that high-end product, and he wants to see them showing that consistency as well. So he's obviously pleased with the way the youngsters have been performing, the likes of Kobbie Mainoo, the likes of Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund. I know he's not come through the academy, but you can throw him in that bracket. He's only just turned 21. But Erik ten Hag, he's praising them, but also says he wants to see that level of consistency. The club is ambitious, but we want to see, a high-end product, which I think is a fair comment as well. We're going to wrap it up there. Make sure, if you're not doing it already, you are subscribing to the channel. Go and check out all the other videos we've got. We'll be back later on today with The Brew. That'll be up at 4 o'clock. Well, I'll be live at 4 o'clock, so come and get involved in the chat for that one. I've been Jay Motty, outside a pretty cold Old Trafford. Thanks for watching.